Now, Russ Wyatt is with us up early, the city councillor for Transcona, to talk about this. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks, Marcy.
So this was a large grass fire. We know it swept through an industrial area in North Transcona. Firefighters have been still investigating what caused the fire along Gunn Road. What do you understand about what might have happened and caused this?
We still don't know the cause. They're investigating it, but the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service did an amazing job. We had no less than 3 grass-related fires going on, that the Gunn Road being the largest one. That started at 2 p.m. It took them 3 hours to get the fire under control. The fire spread quickly with the southern winds. Businesses were evacuated. 2 firefighters suffered minor injuries that were checked out by our paramedics and then released. The fire department deployed their drones that they have now to basically identify the hot spots to start to knock them out as quickly as possible. The fire spread into a car wrecker on the south side of Gunn, which is what you would have heard from that lady who was speaking earlier on the radio. And east of the fire was on the south side of Gunn Road, east of Day Street, moving north. There's some major businesses there. There's Border Chemical on the north side of the Arm of Springfield, highly flammable, so it was crucial that the fire be knocked down ASAP. And it was, though 2 businesses for sure suffered damages. I was on the phone this morning with Henry Westavelt, who indicated to me that the whole his business was saved, but he was evacuated as well. So it was quite a day. And then 4:30 p.m., another fire erupted on the south side in my ward as well, Bellaband Place in Transcona Ward. That was threatening homes, grass fire on the south side of Bellaband Place. Firefighters were able to get that fire under control within an hour. And then a fire erupted at 5:30, Rue Trappes as well, which they were able to knock down fairly quickly down off of Pembina Highway.
In St. Norbert. It's interesting. Megan Ketchison was out on Gunn Road this morning in your ward and was like looking at, one side of the road with green grass. The other side just completely, the fire ripped through. She described cars looking like they were melted rather. What do you understand about, are all the hot spots out? Like what from your view this morning, what is it like out on Gunn Road?
Crews were, I was on the phone yesterday for most of the day with Fire Chief Christian Schmidt, and I can tell you that they worked into the night. Fire crews ensured that the fires were all put out, including that one on Gunn Road.
Okay.
What she would have heard propane tanks exploding in the auto wrecker's yard. And so, you had transformers exploding. They were being burnt. It was, and the fire department would just like to stress the importance of everybody to respect the fire ban that's in place now. That includes outdoor bonfires. That includes briquette barbecues even. Just be very mindful of not throwing your cigarette out the window when you're driving. Butt it out and put it in an ashtray in the car. Those sorts of things.
When I look on a map here at Gunn Road where that fire happened, I mean, this is near the rail line. What could this have to do with the rail lines?
In the past, we've had issues. I know it was about 15 years ago, we had a massive fire in the Arm of Springfield that affected a plastics plant that was caused by sparks from a train. They're not sure yet what the cause of the Gunn Road fire is, or the Bellaband Place fire as well. Though there is a fire, there is a very active rail line behind Bellaband Place, operated by a CN Rail. They're not sure of the cause. I know that earlier this year in February, we had some real bylaw enforcement issues with regards to the auto wrecker who was parking cars illegally, wrecked cars on the shoulder of Gunn Street. I tried to get a hold of the owner, went to the site. The site was the auto wrecker itself was a bit of a disaster in terms of our fire crews would have had a hard time getting into that site, let's just say that, because it wasn't laid out properly in terms of auto wrecking. And
so just to interject here, they had trouble yesterday getting into the site, or you're referring to something in the past?
I'm thinking they would have had difficulty getting into the site because of the way I had difficulty walking into the site, never mind driving into the site in February of this year. So, they would have had a challenge with that auto wrecker to get in there to fight that fire, but they nevertheless did. I can tell you multiple apparatuses of the fire paramedic service were deployed including pumper trucks, including tanker trucks. They tapped into hydrants, but they also brought in tanker trucks to knock down the fire.
So there could be some concern around access to the site. I'm wondering, when you think about, you've been on council represented Transcona for many years. How does this compare to other fires? And do you remember a day like this? Because even in the newsroom, I was thinking, like, within the city of Winnipeg, I couldn't recall a day like this. So what's your sense of what happened?
Well, I don't recall a day where, there was a fire on Vimy Road, a house fire that they started at 11:30 in the morning, and then you had this fire up to 2 p.m. on Gunn Road. Then you had another fire on Balaban, started at 4:30, a grass fire behind Balaban Place, south side of Balaban Place. And then you had another fire at 5:30 down off of Pembina Highway, another grass fire. It just, I think, it strikes me, I've never seen anything quite like this, where you have them all at once. We have this unseasonably hot weather, dry weather, and I think what we're seeing is the impact of that.
What do you need from going forward from, when you look from the city and the province to make sure or prevent this from maybe happening again, especially we've got this period of hot, dry weather. We're not done with this yet.
Well, bigger picture stuff, in terms of public policy, we have a lot of issues, I still say, in a lot of our older industrial parks, like in St. Boniface. You recall the auto fire where basically, we were very lucky in that.
The huge explosions there in St. Boniface.
There, and you've got major manufacturers in there who, frankly, if it was in any other province or jurisdiction, they'd be subject to environmental regulations like they're not here. They're close to rail lines. We have a lot of, I guess you would almost call them ticking time bombs, not only in the city of Winnipeg, but around the city. In the arm of Springfield, we have serious concerns because they have an industrial park. They do not have fire hydrants. They do not have a full-time paid fire services volunteer. We've had real serious issues in the arm of Springfield, north of Transcona.
So some wider concerns.
Bigger concerns about how we regulate and what we allow, and really ensuring that we practice as much prevention as possible.
Just last, what have you been hearing from constituents, and what will you need to hear today? What will you be seeking to find out about what happened?
Well, I'll be following up with Fire Chief Christian Schmidt to see how their investigation is going, to see what the cause of the fire was, and if we can determine the cause, we can hopefully prevent these things in the future from happening, these type of fires in the future. We just the chief asked me to really stress the importance. We're right now have the fire ban in place in the city. Just no bonfires. Be very conscious of what you're doing outside in terms of your, cigarette smoking. Briquette barbecuing is not allowed. Just asking the citizens of Winnipeg just to honor that, respect that.
Yep.
Firefighters' lives, they did an amazing job, but they're on the line every time they respond to a fire like this.
Important to reiterate those rules.
Yeah, nobody got injured. That was the important thing. In all these fires, nobody got hurt, including the house fire down on Vimy Road. People were evacuated. They self-evacuated there. We were very fortunate yesterday with all these fires going on that nobody got hurt.
All right, Russ Wyatt, thank you.
Thank you.
Russ Wyatt, City Councillor for Transcona. If you want to read more about the Gunn Road fire, it's open now, Gunn Road, by the way, but you can read how this all developed at cbc.ca/Manitoba.